Voting Commission will now come to order. Before we get to the minutes, as we discussed at the last meeting, Larry Burbank has resigned from the board. So he was vice chairman of the board. So I am looking for nominations for someone to assume the role of vice chair of the board. I'll open the floor up for nominations.
Any particular, is anybody interested?
I'd like to nominate Bob Graham as,
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a nomination and a second for Bob Graham being the
vice chair.
vice chair. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Bob. Okay, the next item actually on the agenda is a review and approval of the January 2026 meeting minutes. Everyone should have a copy of the minutes in their package if you just take a quick look at them and make sure they're accurate. No one has any comments. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve as written.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next item. Michelle, how are you this evening?
Better now. On February 4th, our Planning Commission attended the WRE element with Carroll County's Planning Commission and Union Bridges Commission. They have left that open for comment until February 24th. 3rd.
23rd.
And then we will be back here with it in March to approve, to go ahead and pass that. Ordinance 271 with all of our zoning changes went to the council last week. They introduced it. A public hearing will be held March 10th at their mayor and council meeting. We did just receive a pre-submittal request for the Cook property, which is the one off of Briar Way, off of Washington Way. So I don't have anything further to report on that. And I think that's all I've got for tonight.
Any questions for Michelle? Thank you. Matt, how are you this evening?
I am good. Good evening, Commission. So a couple of things from the Town Administrator's report here. We'll start with the water side first. It's easier. Progress continues on our PFAS treatment plant down at Manchester Valley High School. Design is approximately 10% right now. The engineers have had surveyors and the like on site, taking information, getting the building stuff so they can work on their designs. Hopefully next month I'll have a little bit more on that. Switching over to our wastewater treatment plant project, I don't remember what the status was last time we met, but currently that project has stalled due to a very number of reasons. The state has withdrawn our loan application, so we are down to just the current pre-approved grant that they had established. We also have received a letter from the Office of the Attorney General for issues at the plant, so we are working through that currently now. There's a couple meetings set up to talk with the MDE engineers and the finance people, and then there's a meeting that we're planning to talk to the Office of the Attorney General. So currently that project has stalled. We are pursuing other funding opportunities to include the USDA. So that's about all I have for the administrator.
Matt, what was the basis for the withdrawal of the funding?
Basically, they looked at the cost of construction estimate, which is $56 million currently. They came up that we would need approximately couple million dollars plus to have a loan. And they ran our finances, and the debt ratio was incredibly high.
Yeah.
So basically, the loan was unserviceable. So they have talked to us and said that if we get the numbers straightened out, we get sizing things straightened out. They're going to work with us, and the application period is December to January to reapply. So they are willing to work with us to get reapplied and get this project to completion. But it's going to be a long road to get there.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions for Matt?
Thank you.
So I just have one more. You said you were going to meet with the State Attorney General's office. Have any dates been set up, or we're just in the process of trying to get those meetings?
We're in the process of getting that meeting established.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. Next, council report. Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Henry. In addition to introduction of ordinance 271, the council approved funding for two separate projects, one for the, and Matt, give me honest, it's 2 or 3 trees on Main Street?
Yeah, so we put out bids for trimming the trees along Main Street.
Right.
I know everybody here should be ecstatic to hear that. We have a contractor selected. We're working on getting the paperwork put together to get all the trees on Main Street trimmed off the people's houses and away from the utilities. The only trees we're not trimming currently are the ones where the sidewalks are damaged due to the trees, and that's a separate project. We talked to the State Forestry Department. They've given us a little bit of leadway on that as far as, because they originally wanted us to raise the sidewalks, check the root sizes, and then they would determine if the roots would be able to be pruned or if the tree would have to come down. So they've given us some leadway on that to where we can take the sidewalk out and the arborist that we have can determine if the roots can be cut or if the tree has to come down. So that'll be a separate project, which we are working on that also. We have a contractor for the sidewalks lined up. We just need to confirm our contractor for the tree portion.
Yeah, so the state's got you because of the roadside tree permit.
They do,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, but to his point, we're also going to fix the sidewalks which have been damaged
Yeah.
along Main Street. So,
Okay.
That's it for the council.
Okay, thank you, Chris. No planning department report tonight, is my understanding. So I guess the next item on the agenda is the concept review of Patriots Overlook. And before we get to that, I'll just restate my position that I'm recusing myself from any review on this project. The position I took when it first came before the board, so.
Do we have a representative from the applicant? Come up.
Good evening. Good evening. Martin Rickwell with CLSI. So basically, we're here to get your input, any questions, concerns. The plans have been submitted back to Carroll County, and they're doing their review on the rest of the process, but we need input from the commission members.
Yes, this will be the second time that we reviewed on this, but one of the annexation requirements was that they supply sewer connections for any abutting properties for future. And when I looked at this plan, they've got the sewer coming up through off of Brougham Court and in, but not along these property lines. So there's just a couple things like that we'd like to see rerouted a different way.
We can adjust the sewer. The biggest thing, I think, was Mr. Coon's request that we take it across Park Avenue into the other subdivision.
Yeah, this is-
Discharge point.
This is the sewer coming from Brougham Court
Okay.
over. And then I had, what was the other one? These grass swales that are behind lots 9, 10, 11, would they be, they're maintained by the homeowner?
Sure, I got it.
That's okay.
9, 10, 11? They are on the open space for the stormwater management. They're not maintained by the homeowner.
So who's going to maintain that?
What's that?
Who will be maintaining that?
It depends if the town takes the stormwater facility or if it's going to be by the HOA. That's the decision comes from commission
Okay.
here.
So you're planning for an HOA in this?
Mark, or Jeff? Yes.
Okay. And let me see, one of the other things, I've noticed that Wellsview Drive does not show any water marked on it. I know it's very busy, but I don't see any there. I saw it everywhere else,
I
not
think the
there.
line's there, it's just not labeled, but
Okay.
there'll be water connection back.
And then on Brian's Delight, I see that you've got a big retaining wall there on Lot 23. But how far away from the main will there be once that retaining wall is put up? See, we've got that water line running down Brian's Delight. Says it's
Right.
only 12-foot paving. So,
This is just schematic, we don't have any sizes, offsets like that, but I'd say probably a minimum 10 feet.
I did notice there were no hydrants listed either. And there's going to be a need for probably
Yes.
3 of them. 4 of them.
Unfortunately, it's so busy, I can't see them on there either, but they will be added definitely. for-
Let's see, and definitely a hydrant at the end of, what is this?
Patriots Court down there, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we still, at what point will we have any idea how tall these retaining walls are going to be?
Well, this is conceptual grading. The highest one we have is behind lots, excuse me one second, lot 20, and that's 16. The others are around 10 to 12 feet or less.
So you said 16 feet?
That's the maximum there, yes.
That one. That's all I wanted to bring up, so you guys are free to.
Any questions from the board?
So, a little surprised I don't see a forest conservation plan in this package. I see something that shows what might be a forest conservation plan, but you're not telling me exactly which clearing, unless you're clearing everything, and in which case that's not what we kind of told you we wanted to see.
Typically, the conservation plan comes at the preliminary stage, but yes, it is clearing the woods.
I understand, but we had noted concern for the forest previously, so a little disappointed there, but because it does look like you're grading almost the entire site.
Yes, sir.
I also see driveways that appear to be in the 14 to 16% range, as well as the driveway going to the pump station, which don't have a perfect scale on me right now, but it looks like it's in the range of 18%, which is not exactly serviceable, because when they're going to be going down there, it's probably not going to be sunny in 75.
The maximum would be 17%, but we'll get it underneath that.
I also do have some concern with an HOA of 36 homes having to maintain everything that's here to be maintained. That's going to be a pretty big burden on those homeowners, and I don't want the town to have to then come back and take over these items. Do you recall what size box houses you put on here for planning purposes?
I don't, but I can scale it quick. $50 by 40.
I'm sorry, sir?
50 by 40.
50 by 40. As people who've watched this board, not thrilled with having to do any kind of setback modifications at a later date for homeowners to be able to put in decks, additions, et cetera. So that's going to have to be observed on several of these lots if that's possible.
Okay.
Have you by chance done your site distance analysis?
Yes, we did. And the required site distance, I believe, was 390 feet, and we meet the required criteria.
All right. I do have to echo Michelle's concern over these retaining walls. They're quite massive, especially on the one on 20 being 16 feet.
We can soften that by putting two walls together, separate them back, make it a little nicer planning area, things like that.
Understand, but it becomes a maintenance issue for the homeowner, any way you shape it up.
Okay.
We certainly don't want to see anything sloughing down those hills. So. Is the stormwater management pond at the end of Patriots Court, is that a hard-sided stormwater management pond?
It has one retaining wall on the upper end. The rest is submerged gravel and grass and soil.
Retaining wall?
Yes.
on the front end.
Yes.
How do you get there to maintain it?
This plan, let me see if I have the grading plan. We'll be required to have it.
I see a driveway going down there, but then I see what appears to be walls on all sides of it, so.
What you're probably seeing is the forebay area, which has the gabion just as a part of it for the separation of the water quality versus this quantity. But there is a driveway required by the county to take down to get access down there. We took it around the other end of the retaining wall to be able to get access. It goes down to the other end and comes around like a U back into the bottom of the facility.
You come up through the court train, okay.
Yes.
And then you'd have to do a three-point turn at the bottom of the hill to get back out.
Right. We can add a pullover area at the bottom to be able to make a turning area in there.
Okay. You have a drafting area there on that pond also. Just an FYI. I don't think we've got a 400-foot cut there.
Nope, I see the 518.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's a
Thank
drafting
you.
area. It happens all the time. Okay. Oh, boy. we're gonna need some kind of way to turn a vehicle around getting to the pump station also.
Yes. Until we get the actual layout of the pump station, we didn't do any real site plan portion for that until we find out what's going to be required.
I'm just
Yes,
putting it out there right now, so it's not a
Understand.
surprise later.
okay.
All right.
Is this
You say 13? Looks like it.
you can't turn a fire truck around in there.
Yeah, good point.
Chris, you got some comments?
I still want to make sure I'm reading it right.
At the end of Patriots Court?
At the end of Patriots Court, is that 13-foot radius in that court?
No, that's station 13+00. It's-
You can't turn a fire truck around 13 feet.
No, it's sized for school buses and fire trucks.
Yeah, it looks like it's about 70 or 80 feet.
Yes.
Oh, if you scaled it.
Yeah, it's a 100 scale plan.
Okay.
Yeah, we're an 80-foot.
Also suggest that you check the diameter of the cul-de-sac bulb. Make sure that it can comply with NFPA requirements for a fire truck to go around.
Yes.
It just looks a little tight.
Any other comments?
I just want to reiterate a couple things that have already been said, but I just get off my mind. Being totally clear, I just have to imagine the water impact to all the homes below could be horrendous. So, yeah, that bothers me. We talked about the height of the walls, that maybe we could do two, so two medium walls don't make me feel a whole lot better than one tall wall. I think some of these yards may be sloped and unusable. I want to see yards where kids can have swing sets and whatnot. And then as Bob pointed out, the HOA, we know how they work. And if this is entirely HOA, it's going to be a lot of burden on the town at some point. So again, just a few things I wanted to reiterate.
And I'll just make a general comment, not a specific project comment, but when you come before the board the next time, at least have a copy of the overall plan on the screen. We've got community members here who
Yes, sir.
are going to have specific concerns, and it would be much easier for them if they could point to something up on a board
Yes.
instead of having to try to refer to a plan and we're guessing what they're talking about. So we'll get to the community in a minute. Any other comments or concerns to be shared with Mr. Rickles?
Bob covered it very well.
There's just so much. And not very positive, so I want to digest it a lot more.
Okay.
It's-
Okay, thank you. Now, obviously, we've got a lot of citizens here tonight who have their questions and concerns. All I ask is that you come up to the microphone, please state your name and address so that we can have that for the record, so we can keep tabs on what people's concerns are. So if anybody has a comment or question, you're welcome to come up.
I just have a quick question. I don't know if anybody here has seen that plan that you guys are looking at. Can we have 10 minutes with it so that we can devise some specific questions?
I think that's reasonable. We can adjourn the meeting. I guess that's what we would do. We close the meeting for 10 minutes.
Make motion to adjourn the meeting for 10 minutes to allow for public review of the documents.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 10-minute recess. Floor is open for anybody that has questions or concerns or comments. Like I said before, please come up to the mic, give us your name and address, and state your concerns or questions.
Good evening. My name is Tom Stone. I live at 2747 Manchester Road. And is it possible that I could have a set of plans to look at and to be able to work off of? Is that possible? Thank
Sure.
you. Awesome.
Oh, for right now, yeah, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
There you go.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I can, I'd like to ask someone that represents the developer a couple questions about the stormwater management ponds. The one on the north side, can I ask a question from here to the audience?
That's fine. Can you refer to, when you say the north side, can you give like a street,
Yeah,
which
it's-
court it's off of?
Yes,
So-
sir. It's at the end of the cul-de-sac at Patriots Court at the very end on the north appendage. It's got the gravel wetlands and the stormwater management pond. Am I speaking? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
So is that intended to be just a holding pond, or is it also a recharge facility to recharge?
Mr. Rickles, why don't you come on back up here and share the floor with the community?
Yeah, no. I can hear you.
Okay. That is not a recharge. It's a water quality. It'll discharge into a storm drain system that's down below it. The point of a submerged ground wetland is to hold the water and let the nutrients and such settle out, sediments. It does not recharge. In fact, for doing a submerged ground wetland, we can't have infiltration rates.
So where does that outflow pipe go, outflow pipe? Can you show it to me, please?
Sure. Down here, around and into this facility.
Okay, you're flowing it back, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And so what would you call the structure that you just showed that flows into? What is that considered?
That is an underground facility, all stone, so there'll be no chance of failure for pipes and things like that. It's just a stone reservoir.
Okay. So basically, all the water from the site is either divided between the structure we just spoke about, the stormwater management pond, with the wetlands, And there's also direct lines from the, I guess, the southwest side, Wills Avenue Drive. They also go into that structure, the underground structure, is that correct?
Correct. All
Okay.
water gets diverted into there.
Okay, and so I saw a profile for the construction of that. Does it have manholes to it to maintain, so it doesn't build up silt? How's that be maintained?
Prior to the infiltration, or the stone trench, there's going to be manholes and such that have chambers for collecting the sediment. That's all the next phase concept. We don't have that designed yet.
And who's going to be maintaining that after the developer leaves the property?
That is where it's between the town, whether they're going to maintain it or have the HOA maintain it.
Okay. You're showing the outfall, you're showing underground piping and then outfall on the adjacent property. Do you have permission from the county to use private property for that purpose?
We talked to the county attorney. They said there's an easement there, so that's why we put it there.
Is that easement approved for private use, for private gain?
The county attorney said that was a
And
proper.
what's the county attorney's name?
Tim Burke.
Tim Burke, okay. Do you have a waiver or something in writing that gives you permission, or?
Not with me. I don't.
Okay, okay. I'd like to have a copy of that, and maybe if you could also give that to the town of Manchester, that'd be great.
I'll see what we
Please.
have.
Okay, that'd be great. The stormwater, it appears that there's just too many houses. There's 36 residences, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
To 36, I understand as a builder, developer, myself in the past, that you want to get as many square feet under roof as possible for profit, and that your profit per square foot goes up is great, but I think it's too concentrated. I think you have too many houses and too steep a grade. I would suggest that you go to, you may not like what I say, but I'm just saying that I think is realistic. Go back to one house per 5 acres or something that's doable. I think this is going to be a long-term failure when it comes to a massive storm, or we've had them. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I can't see this this grade holding up to such a volume of water. But I'm not an expert, but I've had a lot of experience in the field. The other thing I want to comment on is the sewage pumping station. It's located at the corner, I guess it would be the east corner of the Eric and Christine Venanzi's property. I put stormwater management ponds in, and everything you have on here, I'm very familiar with, but also sewage pumping stations. And it appears that everything drains that sewage pumping station. We all know, anybody who's maintained them as well, and I know the town of Manchester has had issues with things before too, they fail. You have floats that fail, you have obstructions, you have pumps that'll fail, you have stormwater intrusion, you'll have something that's going to cause that system to overflow. It just happens. I mean, it's happening right now in, I guess, Montgomery County on the Potomac River. Different situation. It's a main that got backed up with water flow from the snowstorm, and broke the pipe, and it's draining into the Potomac River. This is a little different. It's double pipe creek, but the effluent coming out of the stormwater system and this, as if it were to leak, would outflow onto, there's 2 wells that the Venanzis have on their property. One thing about the property we have you done any soil borings at all at this point?
Yes, sir, we have.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see a profile of that. Maybe the town could have that too as well. But I know this was former pasture land, so it's very permeable. I remember Eric and Chris telling me a story that sometime in the past, many years ago, they applied granular fertilizer to the ground, and they could taste it in their shower water a few days after a storm came through. So it soaked into their aquifer and went into their wells. So they don't use it anymore. I don't use pesticides or herbicides on my property. So that's a concern of ours, that all these houses up here having this, you're just going to do it. People are going to wash their cars and things of that nature. It's not unheard of, and it's not illegal, but we are all at risk of having contamination in our wells, including all the adjacent properties. So for us, it's a huge environmental concern, and I'm just asking the town and even the county to dial this back to something that's more reasonable, and including the grades too. So that's all I have to say, and I appreciate you guys giving us time to speak. Thank you very much.
Mr. Stone, what was
Thank you for
your,
coming up. Appreciate your answers too.
Mr. Stone, What was your address again on Manchester Road?
2747 Manchester Road.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Oh, yes. So here are pictures that I will pass along. That's the storm that we got that, after they did some.
Can you hold on and speak when you get up to the microphone, please? Name and address also, please.
Oh, sure. I'm Christine Venanzi, and I'm at 2733 Little Lane. So the photographs that I just handed to this, to Dale are from when they did 25 years ago, 24 years ago, when they cleared just some of the brush on the hill. We got a big storm after that, and that's our property. That's looking out my back window at where our well and septic are. So what Tom was saying as far as this pump station is concerned, that pump station is at the corner of our property. And if you see the words to the left of it where it says retaining wall and pump station, if you were to draw a circle around the L in wall and the S in station, those are our two wells right there. We have a primary well and we have a backup well. And then this grass swale, which is also collecting all of the water, if I'm understanding it correctly. When that outflows, when it comes out the top, it's coming right over our septic system, which I've talked to stormwater management, and they say that that's not possible for our septic system to be able to maintain that level of water. And then this, I beg to differ with the information from the county attorney, and I will be calling him tomorrow. We've talked to multiple people at the county. We have our deed. We have it dated back from when we purchased it to when it was originally subdivided. That easement is for us and us only. If we want to do something, that's where we would be putting our, using as our easement, but that is not to be used for this property. I've checked that with every person at the county that I could find. I didn't know there was a county attorney, so we'll be talking to him tomorrow. So our biggest concern is the stormwater management. Obviously this many houses is because they were annexed. We were unaware that that was happening. That's our fault for not, well, we got kicked off of by accident, I guess, off of the email list that let us know when the town meetings were happening. So we didn't know that the annexation was happening. But previously, this was 1 acre lots. Is that correct, Tom?
I think so.
On the Westminster side, it was gonna be 1 acre lots, and then it was 1/4 acre lots on the Manchester. And then when you guys annexed the property in, it all turned into these closer to 1/4 acre lots for allowing 36 houses. It is entirely too many houses. You can see from that stormwater, that was brush. That was what they're calling the underbrush. He wants to clear cut, the developers want to clear cut the entire wooded area. Our property can't withstand that. It just simply won't ever withstand that amount of water coming down that hill. And even if, the natural grade takes it to our property. But now we're saying we've got this stormwater facility at the bottom of Patriots Court that's coming over and adding into this other grass swale that's next to the pumping station that's going to either overflow naturally onto our property across our septic or down this imaginary pipe to the creek that doesn't. I don't speak for Tom Stone, but my guess is that his feeling is the exact same as my husband and mine. We will never allow that to happen if we have any say in that. They're not going to come across our property. And this is not managing the water in a way that is sustainable to us. All of us down here are on wells. None of us have public water. So all of us, and Tom's story is correct, We put down fertilizer, new homeowners, we thought we were like, making beautiful green grass. And I don't think it was a storm. I think it was that night I was in the shower and I could taste the chemicals. So whatever people put on here is coming down to us, and it's just so incredibly concentrated. I mean, even with the plan, the way that the plan exists, there's just no way that our property can handle that level of stormwater. And that's my main concern. I mean, I know that there's other concerns about, who's gonna plow it, and, who's gonna maintain it, and the HOA, and the sewers, and I'm concerned about this pump station failing. I'm concerned about all the water that is naturally or unnaturally going to come down onto our property once those trees are removed, because I don't believe that it could ever withstand. And, that's our home. That's our future for my family and for our child is in that piece of land. So we just hope that you guys take into consideration the impact that which I believe you are, but seriously take consideration of what it would be like if you were living in that house and this was about to happen to you. Please, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, thank you for your comments and concerns. The board definitely will take those into serious consideration. We appreciate the potential impacts on your property, and we will discuss and take a look at it.
One additional comment for the applicant here. We'd previously mentioned to show the location of wells and septic fields,
Yeah.
especially ones that are closely adjoining the property line. Please come back with that information next time.
Okay, does anybody else have any other business to bring up before the board?
No, sir.
If not, I take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Good night, everybody.